Welcome back to the Beard Bros podcast. Today's guest is my good buddy James Scott. What's going on, man?
Not much, man.
Not much. How's your day been?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah. So he's just to give a little bit of a feedback. We went to school together, and he decided he was going to become a teacher. How long have you been doing that for?
Officially, only this one my second year. Like officially, I've been in schools for about 9 years.
Oh, really?
But yeah, but this is on my second official year as a teacher.
Because you got to get like a license and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, how's that working out for you?
I like it. It's fun, man.
Where are you a teacher at? Roswell High still?
No, right now I'm at Hagerman.
Oh, you're in Hagerman.
Yeah, Hagerman
okay.
Middle School. Actually, I was at Roswell High last year.
Okay.
And I was at Roswell High for like subbing and stuff for about 5 years.
Right, I remember.
So,
And you were even coaching, huh?
yeah, I was the assistant coach for the girls.
For basketball?
Yeah, and that's why I went to Hagerman. I'm the head girls coach at Hagerman now.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, congrats on
Yeah,
that, dude.
it was
That's pretty cool, man.
It was a cool experience.
So y'all already, I guess, getting ready for the season pretty soon. What, a month?
Yeah, in a month, November it starts, but I mean, Hagerman's a small school, man. So all my girls play. The ones I expect to play are playing volleyball.
Oh,
They play
okay.
volleyball or cross country or do something.
Oh, okay.
So being in a small school, you gotta share all that.
Yeah, I was thinking that is a pretty tiny school.
So,
But, and so you commute back and forth and whatnot?
yeah, it's not bad. It's only about 30 minutes.
Yeah. That's not bad. That's super cool, man.
It's fun, man.
Okay, so I don't want to dive real quick, but fuck it, I don't care. So I don't know if you guys have seen, but there have been a couple commercials that Sandy Hook has. I don't know even know, was it like on public channels?
It's like a non-profit organization type thing.
Right.
They made a couple of them.
Right.
I thought
I'll
it was
leave.
just the social media. I thought it was the social
And,
media.
yeah, I don't think they've been on TV.
It wasn't on
commercial.
TV.
I don't
I
remember.
want to say it
It might
was
have
though.
been. I got one.
But either way, I'll leave the links in the description. You guys go check it out. But needless to say, they basically, I don't want to say advertise, but somewhat advertise like the school shootings.
Yeah, kind of. It was like a Kmart commercial, but then they threw little like.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was at first.
Shots at like.
Well, what was the first one? I forgot the first one now that I'm
The
talking
very
about.
first one's like,
I think it was his headphones in the library.
No, it was
Oh,
the kid. It was the kid that you don't pay attention to. Remember, he like that kid starts writing on the desk.
on the desk. Yeah.
And he's in the library and he's
Yeah,
trying
that's
to.
the first
And
one.
then the
Oh,
kid
yeah.
in the background, if you're not paying attention the first time around, by the end of the video, you'll see like all the little like
Designs.
highlights or
signs.
flyers or
There you
something like
go.
that.
And then on the second video, it starts off like kids getting new school supplies, new tennis shoes, but throughout the video, there's a school shooting occurring, and it's kind of. What do you think about it? What was your first initial opinion?
I mean, like the first one, like the one with the kid writing on the desk.
Uh-huh.
Like I kind of feel like it was aimed more towards like high school kids.
Okay.
You know, and so I kind of thought of it like the tobacco commercials or anything like a propaganda commercial. You know.
Okay.
So it was nobody. The other one I didn't like it just because I felt like it was more aimed towards like younger kids. You know.
Okay.
Like once you get to high school, your parents still got like buy backpacks like every year. And
Mm-hmm.
binders and all that stuff, that's more like a younger kid thing.
Right.
You know? So that was the only thing I didn't really like about it was I felt like it was more aimed towards like younger kids.
Okay.
You know.
First one, reasonable. I liked it. It was cool. Second one, I didn't really like. It was a little too, not to sound like an asshole, but like humorous. Like it was like, oh, this new jacket will come in handy, and it's like tying the jacket to the door. It was like they're trying to make it like comical, but it wasn't really comical. It was like kind of weird to me. I was just like, what's the?
It was odd.
Yeah, it was like weird.
Yeah, I guess
didn't really find font that one.
the first one, I'll say. I guess I could kind of understand why, like they were trying to bring up awareness.
Oh, yeah.
There, obviously that was the goal there. It wasn't that bad. I get what they were trying to do with the first one. The second one, I just frankly didn't. I thought it sent the wrong message. One, I think they did it just for views. I think it was simply for views. I don't think there was really the intention of trying to help people.
Yeah.
And then on my second opinion of it, it just, I'm gonna be honest, I felt like it almost would provoke somebody to do something else. Just because it's like, you're putting it out there, and I don't think that's the way you go about preventing school shootings.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing with me is I don't want like kids to be scared to go to school, you know. And I kind of felt like because it was kind of aimed towards I felt like it was kind of aimed towards a younger group. I didn't want because kids, like little kids, they're a little bit more prone to like see something and like believe it. You know, older kids, they can kind of read the messages that's trying to give.
That's true.
You know, so that's the reason I didn't like it. It was just I felt like it was aimed more towards younger kids. Just even like the girl getting her first cell phone. Like by the time most kids are in high school now, they have a cell phone.
That's true.
You know, usually that's like a middle school thing now is getting your first cell phone.
Cell phone.
Stuff
Yeah, I
like
didn't
that,
think
so.
about the age, honestly. I guess I just seen it for. It just wasn't to me. I don't think it was helpful.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned you'd like kids to feel safer at school, and we've kind of talked about it, not really, especially with an actual teacher.
Yeah.
I want your opinion on what would you suggest, or what is an idea that's maybe been floated around that you would think would make kids, even the parents, feel safe leaving their child there?
I mean, I think they're doing a lot of stuff right now. You know, a lot of it is it takes a lot of money to put all that stuff in. You know that you need. So like all the schools put in the little, it's called a vestibule. Where like you have to go in and it's like a room that separates you from the school.
Okay.
And so like those are the only doors that are supposed to be unlocked throughout the day.
Oh.
In Roswell school. So that's the only way in, and there's 2 sets of doors. So like you come in and then there's like a little room, and then you have to go through another set of doors that you have to be kind of like buzzed through.
Really?
So go through.
And this is like at Roswell High and Goddard right now?
Yeah, they've already put those in at both those schools.
Wow.
So that helps. And then, I mean, we do trainings like year round. You know, they're kind of.
So it's kind of like a fire drill training, except
Yeah, I mean
it's-
that's one of the things they kind of talk to us about is like they talk about like safety and security. So like schools are really safe. Like if you think of like fire drills, everyone does a fire drill. Everyone knows how to do a fire drill. I don't think there's been like a kid injured in a fire in a school since like 80 years or something
Oh
like that.
wow.
So
that's
like
good.
schools are safe. It's the security aspect now. It's how do you secure a school? So that's what a bunch of school districts are trying to have to figure out is how do you actually secure a school? So, you know, and it's little steps. You know, there's schools that have already put in like the swipe cards. Like you have to have a swipe card and only certain people have them. You have to have that to get into certain doors and all that kind of stuff. And,
Oh, okay.
you know, and we do trainings all the time about like what happens, like what are you supposed to do, you know. So it's a constant thing now.
Dang.
So it's just like fire drills, tornado drills, you know.
Wow.
So,
I guess from when we were in school, that was just
we started having them towards like the end of high school. We have like lockdown drills and stuff.
yeah. You're right. I
Not
remember
as
there was
much.
one time I think at Mountain View there was a lockdown, and we were locked down for a minute.
Yeah.
And I think it was because somebody was outside doing I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah, like, well, I know that you have to go in a lockdown anytime, like say the cops are trying to serve somebody in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Anytime they serve, they have to go into a lockdown. It's like a little lockdown. So it might have been something like that.
I think now
But-
that you say that, I think that was something along the
Yeah.
lines.
So, there's a lot of stuff.
It's so crazy to think that that's what it's come down to, but
It is crazy to think about it. Like fire drills, everybody's done it since they were like kindergarten. He said it's been 80 years since no one's got hurt with a fire. But there's a mass shooting in a school every other year or every other semester. It's crazy to think you're getting a firearm in a school hurting a kid rather than like an inside fire hurting a kid.
and so I would like to ask. I don't know your take on firearms in general. I'm not sure if you're pro firearms or anti firearms, but what do you think about possibly allowing teachers to carry firearms? Is that
no.
extreme?
I think so. Yeah. I feel like having. I like the idea of having like security guards, police officers there. They're
Mhm.
trained to do it.
Okay.
You know, I think as a teacher, you're not necessarily going into that type of field. you know.
Right.
And if you're not trained to do it, you never know how a teacher's going to react or a person's going to react that's not trained to handle a gun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think that's kind of like an extreme step.
Okay.
Plus, I don't know, if you have to use a gun as a teacher, I feel like it's going to be in a small area.
Right.
It's going to be in the classroom.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the classroom or down the hall where there's people running already. So
and I wouldn't want to take the chance of
shooting an
Not-
innocent
yeah.
child or another teacher or
Some-
something.
Or even like you're having the shooting going on, and then the cops are coming in. They're just ready to eliminate anybody with the firearm. You're just a teacher right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
Mhm.
kind of hazardous for
Yeah.
the teacher too.
I guess that's true. I guess I hadn't thought about that. I didn't think, like you made a good point, just even taking a shot with other civilians as far as children and other teachers as well, just being in the way.
Yeah, I just feel like it'd be like too. If it comes to that point where you have to use something like that, it's going to be too small of an area.
Right, right.
You know, to do it safely, especially if you're not trained. You know, cops are trained to do it. You know, teachers. I mean, we'd have to try and find time to even do it like once.
Well, I guess it would boil down to being able to do your concealed carry class. It's
Yeah.
not like the most like elaborate. You're not running through obstacles, but it's informal. I've taken it myself, and you know, you don't really learn. I don't want to say that, but I guess it's true. You don't really learn how to like handle a firearm.
Yeah.
That's not what they're there for. It's kind of under the assumption you know what you're doing already.
Yeah.
It's whether or not you can actually hit with accuracy,
Yeah.
from a certain distance. That's basically it, and it's kind of an informal class, kind of going over the rules of basically when you're allowed to shoot
Yeah.
in defense. That's
You know, and the other thing is just, you know, like you said, you don't know who is comfortable with guns, who isn't comfortable with guns, and I feel like trying to say, you know, as a teacher, you have to be able to do this. It's hard to, you know, we can't find teachers already. Now you want them to.
is that a thing right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to find teachers, you know.
Why is that?
Just a shortage, you know.
Just a shortage?
Yeah, it just kind of goes with everything. There's kind of a shortage of teachers, and I think if you, on top of that, made a stipulation that you have to be a teacher, and now you also have to learn how to fire, you know, fire a gun.
I think you'd get more people on it. Now you're a badass teacher. No, but, okay, so you mentioned security. Do you think at the very least they should be the people to carry? At the very least?
Yeah, I mean, I think if that's the way you want to go, you know, I know there's already most schools already have like at least one cop in the school,
Oh,
or at least
okay.
nearby. You know, we used to have. I think we had Officer Korn when we were in school. He was always at Rosa High. And
Yeah.
You know, so
I guess you're right.
and
I
they
guess
do a good
school's
job.
it's been so long. I guess I just forgot these things.
Yeah, I mean, it started kind of coming in when we were in school, but now it's.
It's big now. It's
It's
nationwide
kind of a
to
big
the
thing,
point
so.
of. I mean, parents, I'm
Something
sure,
bad.
have nerves to leave their kids at times.
I mean, you got to think there was a shooting in Roswell, New Mexico, so I mean that kind of has to.
That's what I'm
be
saying.
more alert, even though it was just like maybe a one-time incident. It happened, and you got to make sure it never happens again here.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a big
Yeah.
red flag right there.
It's so tough because I know if I had a child these days, I would probably consider homeschooling. I feel like nowadays a lot of kids get homeschooled more than you would think.
Yeah, I mean, you see it. You see kids getting homeschooled and stuff like that. I mean, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
They have some pretty good programs out there online and stuff.
Right.
Like, you don't necessarily, like, I think it was a little bit harder a couple of years ago, but now, you know, there's teachers online, there's schools online for high school even. So
I guess just with technology and the way that's going, it's almost. I hate thinking that I would not want to take my child because of the fear of all these things, but it's tough because I'm sure there are parents that are like, I'm done with public schools or private schools in general or
But
any
even
schools.
home invasions, bro. I mean, anything could happen. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
true,
I'm
but
pretty sure school shootings and home burglaries are pretty like percentage-wise the same. Like you probably have the same amount of like school shootings than you have burglaries.
But
Like that, yeah.
I also think of home protection. Like there's so many. I'm not saying burglaries are like seen beforehand, but I also don't think like the likelihood is, you know.
I mean, you can't literally put your child in a glass bubble and like,
No, I'm not saying that, but
I'd rather him to go to school
and I get that part. I always think socializing and
Yeah.
growing up with your other
Yeah, with your
peers,
friends and stuff.
yeah, like
It's a
that's
big part of
something
it.
that lasts forever.
and I'm not a people person, but I don't think I want my child at home all day. Like, it's kind of.
I don't know. I guess it's tough. I guess maybe for maybe the beginning. I don't know because okay, it was Berendo Middle School or was it Berendo Elementary? It was the middle school that happened. The shooting happened.
I don't remember exactly. I remember it happening. I was at Goddard when that happened. Actually,
Really?
I was 7 at Goddard, yeah, when that happened.
Man,
It was kind of, it was crazy. I mean, I was at Goddard, so it was in kind of their district. So you had
and
kids.
so
that-
what? Let us know what kind of happened. Can you recall that day a little?
I don't know what happened at like Berent. I know what
No,
happened. at
no.
Goddard.
But as far as your school, like, was
Well,
there
we
any?
had to go into lockdown too. I mean, I
Okay.
think they put all the schools into lockdown when it happened, just in case.
Wow.
And then, it just, it was scary, because there was a lot of kids that did have like little brothers, little sisters that were there, just family members, teachers, there was a bunch of, it was kind of scary thing. I don't remember too much about it, but I remember us going into lockdown. I remember, having to kind of wait and see. I know there was a lot of kids that got picked up that day.
Oh, okay.
Like parents would come take their kids out and check them out whenever they could and stuff. So
Yeah,
it was a scary situation, but
I think I was like a senior in high school or somewhere.
Because how long ago was that? That was like 5 years ago.
I want to say it's like 2014 or 13.
About 5, 6 years ago.
I was technically supposed to be a senior, and I just remember all my friends were like, "Dude, that's crazy." I was just like, I really couldn't really have a feeling for it. I wasn't in school, so I wasn't scared or anything. So I was just like,
I
that's
guess
crazy. It was wild, but that's how I was just like.
I want to know, how does a teacher, or how can I put this question? Do you look for those kind of kids? I guess I know that's not the best way to ask it, but you know what I
don't
mean.
think you can really. I mean, they say there's signs and stuff. I don't really think there's signs. I try and talk to as many kids as I can.
So you interact personally.
Yeah, I mean, especially like the kids in my class. I try and talk to everybody as much as
Right.
I can. I mean, you get those. I mean, every class is gonna have a kid that you don't like. Even as a teacher.
And that's what sucks is
I was that kid.
you got bullied or what?
I didn't get I just none of them liked me. I was just loud and just disruptive.
No wonder no one liked you for other reasons. I'm talking like, this sucks. I'm just gonna say this, but yeah, you pick on kids that they show vulnerability.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to like say, this kid's gonna do something bad,
Right.
Because I mean, I don't like to think of any of my kids being able to do anything bad.
To that
So,
extreme,
especially
at
that
least.
extent. Kids are gonna be kids. They're gonna do some dumb stuff. But
Right.
I don't think I'd ever see a kid and say, that kid's gonna do something crazy. So.
And let's play both sides here. If you did have a feeling, or any other teacher, what would be like your kind of steps in proceeding in something like that?
You just take it up.
You just take it up and then they take care of it kind of from there?
I mean, if there's any sort of thing that you think you're uncomfortable with or something, there's always somebody to talk to. That's one thing about schools that, that's one thing that's kind of cool is there's so many other teachers, there's principals, vice principals, counselors, there's so many people that you can go talk to if you're not comfortable yourself.
Okay.
There's, people for the kids to talk to, there's people for teachers to talk to. If you ever feel like you need something, you just try and go talk to somebody.
Huh.
So.
Man, that's so crazy.
You gotta look at a school like a little community.
Right.
So,
I guess that's what it is. I
community.
mean, you got all the neighborhoods in one little.
So you gotta kind of take advantage of that.
Man, see, an idea I had suggested, and I guess I hadn't thought it through until literally just now that you mentioned it. I always thought because you have your, I want to say veterans, but you have your military trained individuals that come back from, say, basic training or for whatever. Maybe they did 4 years or whatever their terms were.
Yeah.
Needless to say, there's so many of them that come back jobless. You know, they don't have a job. They didn't pursue school. I always thought about what if,
I think there's, like you trying to say, like having them
as your security.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple of school districts that have started doing that actually.
Really?
In, like, other states and stuff that have.
Oh, okay. So
I
they
don't
heard
think
me
it's
on the
happening.
podcast. I'm just kidding.
I don't think it's happening in New Mexico yet, but I
Okay.
think there's been a couple of states I think have done that actually.
Wow.
Have
See,
started
I.
excellent
That'd be kinda scary.
security.
Because then, like in Afghanistan, they had like children with like bomb vests, and like if they get PTSD just seeing a child, you know what I mean? Like, on some weird backpack stuff.
But I guess it goes back to what he had said that rather than teaching a teacher out of their comfort zone, you're getting someone that is high up there in training, like they know what they're doing,
Yeah.
and I would feel a bit more comfortable, especially I would if I were the like just saying like if I were the shooter and I seen this guy that I know is military trained, I'm probably not going to do it. I'm not going to turn around and be like, well, maybe I'll go to the next school. I don't know, but you know what I mean? Is I'm probably going to not do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, I guess. Cause like if you see a cop, you're not gonna speed. So if you see
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you see a military individual, you're not gonna do something stupid. It's like the inevitable. It's like you're done if you do it.
Yeah, it's pretty much how that story's gonna end.
Yeah, so I guess you're right on that. I mean, I wouldn't do anything stupid if I seen something like that. I'd be like, nah, bro, this is crazy. It's gonna put you in a chokehold and something. You don't even know you use a gun. Just do something. Maybe shield.
That's another thing is it doesn't even have to come down to using a firearm. Like they're skilled in so many things. They might be able to just take the gun away from them.
That's true. They're probably used to talking people down with like firearms already, so they probably could be able to communicate like a suicide people. You know, they have like people like got to jump off the buildings. They have the guy with the microphone talking. What are they called?
I don't know.
But yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. They're
So-
kind of trying to consult with them.
Yeah, so maybe you're probably right. You would have to just see, like future-wise, to see how those other states are doing with that veteran security guards to see if it really works.
I don't know.
There's a lot of ideas. I mean,
Yeah, I guess the idea is run forever. It's just, I guess, basically boiling down to just making school safe.
and I think they're doing a really good job.
Yeah.
You know, there's always new stuff that they're either putting in or teaching teachers or something. I mean, it's one thing that they're always working on is trying to make schools safe. So.
And that's good. It was ever the thought of like searching kids. I know that to me that seems extreme. I shouldn't be searched every single day, but
I don't. If there was, I never heard of them saying that they're going to do that.
oh, okay. I don't know. Like even
At least metal detectors.
That's what I thought too. Just
I could see like a metal detector or something, but the only problem with that is it takes so much time.
I was gonna say that seems
like
very.
You know, you'd have to pretty much like ask kids to get there at 7:30 to be in class by 8 o'clock. You know?
Just to walk through
Just
a
to walk
little
through.
thing.
Yeah, because you'd have to get every kid to come. I mean, you think about Rosa High, you know, there's 600, 500, 200.
Yeah, there's so
the
many
front doors,
halls,
there's
and then
so many places for kids to come into, and you get kids to go in quick to class. But if you have to have them all come through
one little
or
designated
two, or
area.
even if you had 5 doors, even take forever.
You see, I didn't think about that
Talking
either.
about close to like 1,400 kids trying to go through 5 doors, you know.
That's true.
I never thought about it. I just thought metal detectors would be a good idea,
But then he's right. You would have to designate an area where then now you got 1,400 kids coming in trying to hurry to class.
And you have to have somebody there to, if something beeps. I mean, you can just put them at every door and say, okay, walk in, you know.
That's
Like, you
true,
have to have
because if
somebody at
somebody
those
beeps,
doors, then
and then you're like, well, everybody get down.
I guess you're right, because like you've been on a plane, huh?
Yeah.
So whenever you go into fucking the gates or whatever, the like metal detectors,
Uh-huh.
the fucking little beep, they're like, oh, let me see your bag. And fucking
Well, yeah, like,
Yeah.
they search you.
And it could just be your
Only
belt buckle and
only
shit.
once did I get searched like like they made me stand in this. I don't know. Have you ever seen those wind turbine things where like they have money or whatever?
Yeah.
It wasn't like windy, obviously, but I stood in there and this thing like rotated around
You
me.
think it was because you have a beard and you kind of look.
Did I have a beard at the time?
You always had a beard.
I don't know.
You
It don't even matter. I don't know. They made me stand in there while they like did the bag thing, and then the people I was with didn't have to do that, and I was like, "What the heck's going on here?" But it was cool. I was in and out really quick, but even then I was still like,
I don't know.
"Whoa,
They do
what's-"
like little things though. Like last year when I was at Russell High, we started making the kids wear ID badges around their neck. So like they just have to have their little, and it makes it easy to say, okay, that kid belongs here. You know, they turn around, they got their thing on their chest. You know, it's supposed
Oh,
to
it's kind of to
be, you know,
make sure they're
yeah,
actually part of the
it's
school.
part of the school. You know, so if somebody comes in, they're not wearing that, and you say, hey, where's your thing? And they don't got it.
Does that happen?
No, I mean not very often.
I remember.
I was gonna say when I went to school, my homie didn't go to Roswell. He didn't go to school at all. Like, he would go eat lunch with us. And shit. He didn't go to the school, bro.
What?
Yeah.
See, my senior year, there was a few of us that were. We didn't do it, but we thought about going to Goddard and seeing how long we could attend like classes, and stuff.
yeah.
But we didn't do it. I mean, that would have been cool.
I don't think I've ever seen a kid do that, but it makes it easy to tell like if
Right.
the kid's supposed to be there. You know, they have their little thing on their chest.
And it does have a purpose. It's like it's a purpose.
Not
badge?
yet. It's supposed to like. I think they were working on getting them to where like they do everything with that card. So like like putting your number in for lunch.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, you just swipe your card. Or
Oh,
instead
okay.
of checking out books, instead of putting in a number, telling them your number, you just swipe your card.
Tap and
Yeah.
swipe. That's cool. Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
yeah, I mean,
Dang.
different functions and stuff.
I mean,
That's,
I guess it sounds like, at least for around here, they're doing a pretty good job when it comes down to trying to narrow the possibilities of something like that.
I mean,
happening.
that's all you can really do is work on getting it down. You know, I don't think you can ever say anything's 100% safe,
Oh, of course.
but they do a great job of, you know, working to get it as close as possible. So.
I mean, that's that's a very good sign. I like it. It sounds all good. I mean, you've opened my eyes as far as the guns on campus. I
Yeah.
didn't think about anything like that.
sounds like they just narrow down like the possibilities of it happening rather than trying to prevent it. It's more like there's still a possibility of it happening, but they're like, making
I don't think
it a
there's.
lot more like you have to be more advanced than the process they're already on.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there was, I want to say I heard it on the radio or something, but there was a school in California that, and I don't know the exact way they do it, but like as far as cell phones go, they had them put them like in like a pouch, and you were not allowed to use your cell phone. I know this is completely off the shooting, but it's still dealing with school. And what's your take on cell phones as far as kids having them?
You know, I think cell phones it's kind of hard because you don't want a kid just sitting there on the cell phone all day. But at the same time, there's so many things a cell phone can do. Like you don't have to go out and buy a calculator no more.
I was gonna say, remember when our teachers be like, you're not gonna have a calculator in your hand all the times.
Yeah,
No motherfucker, I have a calculator in my hand all the time.
all the time, right? There's that, and I mean, there's so many things. I mean, and technology's starting to take over school anyway. You know, so
Okay.
like, I use a thing called Google Classroom a lot.
Okay.
So like, I put the assignments on Google Classroom. If you have a phone, you can get on Google Classroom anytime. So say you're out sick and you want to know what we did in class, pull up your phone or your computer, go to Google Classroom, and my assignment will be there. You could do it, and it's not like you didn't miss.
So
class.
basically, you can never be late on an assignment.
Right? You know, you can't. There's no
out.
excuse for it. You're not missing out. You know, you always have it there.
That's cool.
At Hagerman right now, we do a thing called Summit, which is it's kind of a new program. It's an online classroom, pretty much.
Okay.
So all the assignments are online. Kids can go and do their assignment anytime. They can get access to other resources. So say you're having trouble with something in math that your teacher taught you, they'll have like little links to YouTube videos that you can go in and watch, or they'll have links to like little PDFs that you can read and stuff like that just to help you out. So school's kind of being taken over by technology.
Sounds like
And the one thing,
college.
yeah, I mean, and having a phone on you is like having a little computer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
by all
so-
means.
You know, and with kids that necessarily can't afford a computer at home, having their phone is, you know, the next best thing in a lot of ways, you know.
I 100% agree. I never thought it was a bad thing, but you're right. They
Yeah.
don't want them on their phone.
Yeah,
How do
I
you
mean-
prevent something like that? Do you just tell them constantly?
I mean, I don't let them have phones in my class right now just because we have computers in the class.
Oh, okay.
So if they need to be doing something on the computer, then you don't need your phone out.
Right.
If I ever, there's like a handful of times maybe that I would let them have phones, but it was like your phone's out like right now. It would have to
Okay.
be face up. If I went around, I could look and see what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
And you're not gonna. The one thing it kind of prevents is like Snapchat. You know, I don't want
Okay.
you taking pictures of my class or something stupid, and then I get in trouble because, you know, it took you 1 second to go. You know.
That's true.
I'm gonna hate his class.
Yeah,
I'll be doing
See,
dumb
because
shit.
Snapchat was not really a thing
Yeah,
back
so
in
no,
high
dude, I'm
school
talking
for
about
us.
that with like dudes our age all the time. It's like Snapchat. And all
Yeah,
that stuff
yeah.
wasn't around. Like we didn't.
No, back then,
Yeah.
imagine.
Bro,
Like,
oh my
I used to have
goodness.
some stories on my shit, bro.
Bro, Snapchat would have been phenomenal back in the day, but now it's everywhere. Well, I mean, social media is just it doesn't even have to be Snap, but you're right.
Yeah, I know.
No,
So-
that school, I guess the way their little pocket things work is you put your phone in there, and I don't know how it understands whether it's an emergency. I know there's like some way that they know is, oh hey, you know, this is an emergency. We need to let the kid answer the phone or something.
Yeah.
But the government, that's how they know.
Easily, bro. It's like
But
keep
either way, that's what they're kind of experimenting with. Is
That's kind of scary.
Trying
to not have kids on their phones, but like you said, it's almost
Yeah, it's hard, dude. I mean, it's become so part of like what people do nowadays that it's hard to kind of.
have you always like taught in the high school?
Yeah, I've never. This is the first time I'm in the middle school right now in here.
Okay.
It's the first time I've ever done anything other than high school.
Okay. What do you? I want to get your take on like. This is, and I just recently thought about this prior to you coming on. Is somebody that was super smart created the ACT, or maybe it was a group of smart people. I'm not 100% sure on that. Check fact me or whatever, but. That and the ACT, and by all means, I want to still believe that people get, I guess, graded on that kind of score still these days. I guess for me, I don't really care for that anymore now that I'm out of school and I've thought about it some more. Is somebody you're basically judging somebody off of somebody super smart that took that test. And not every individual, like even between the three of us, we may not be as smart as we're not as smart as each other. But maybe you're smarter at math and I'm smarter in English and you're smarter at science, whatever, okay?
Yeah.
But it's not solely based on one subject. You got a number of subjects that you're trying to score high on. I don't think that making the assumption like if you're failing, say you're just failing, well you need to be like these kids, like they're doing it, you need to be like them, but maybe he's or she or whoever you aren't like them.
Yeah.
But maybe you love something else like art. Do you ever see us doing something like maybe
like, focus
bumping
you?
college down to high school level kind of stuff?
You know what a lot of schools are doing, and Roswell High is doing it right now, and Las Cruces has done a really good job of doing it. Is doing like I think Goddard's doing it too. Is doing like they call it CTE programs.
Okay.
So say like you're not, and what it eventually is going to get to being is say you go into high school,
Mhm.
you know you want to go to college, then
Right.
they focus you on classes that are going to help you get into college.
Oh, okay.
If you want to do something like welding or they do like veterinary tech, they do all kinds of different things.
Oh, wow.
They're even talking about maybe doing like some sort of like cosmetology stuff in high schools and stuff like that, trying to focus you on what you want to do.
Wow.
And then you would still take like your core stuff, your math, your English, history, that kind
Basically
of
your
stuff.
basics.
But your like electives would be stuff that you want to kind of focus on after school. And they're
See, I
even
didn't
talking
know
about
that.
trying to get like to where, like say you went to Weld, trying to get it to where by the time you're a senior, you have your certification to go Weld right out of high school.
Damn.
Damn.
So they're trying to
They're trying to do that. See, and that I didn't know.
Roswell High, they started working on it last year about
Okay.
doing that. But Las Cruces, and they got a YouTube video about their new school. If you're ever watching, want to see like what kind of stuff they're doing there.
Man, they
Las
are
Cruces
so
High,
many
dude,
damn schools.
Has they're freaking. It's
They're
nice.
doing
Their
it.
school's nice, and they're doing a really good job of like trying to do like CTE, focus kids on what they want to do. You know, trying to.
I think that cosmetology will work perfectly.
Well, it's not even just one subject though. This is my thought on it is you're young. You're 15 years old.
Yeah.
You have a good 4 years till you're an adult. I'm not saying play around, but it kind of gives you the leisure to kind of find out what it is you're really wanting to do.
Yeah, no, it does. And then, like I said, if you did do that, say you did your welding in high school and you have your certificate, you're still going to get a high school diploma.
Mhm.
So even if you decide you graduate and you're like, no, I don't want to weld, and you decide to go to college, you go to college, do something else, you still have something to always fall back on. You still have that.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking.
You know,
too.
you know, if you go to spend 2 years in college and you're like, oh, this ain't for me.
You got welding.
You got welding. You got something that you can fall
Man,
back
that
on.
is.
So
I think that's a genius idea.
Yeah, there's so many things nowadays that you just. Man, I wish I would have had the opportunity to do those. You know, we were taking AP classes and whatnot, and it's like, okay, I don't need AP history. What am I gonna do with this? I'm not gonna. I don't even remember any of the stuff in there. But yeah, like I wish I could have narrowed it down because I remember in high school originally, like even the thought of college, I always thought I was gonna be an accountant.
Yeah,
And be like, yeah, that's what I thought. Go figure, right? But see, if I would
You're
have,
gonna be a big teller of a dog.
I don't know, but regardless, it would have boiled down to like, okay, yeah, maybe I tried it in high school, but like you said, once I get to college, I could have been like, nah, but I could have had that at the back and maybe someday, you know, get into something else and I'm an accountant and running a business and
I think it's perfect because like not like I don't think everybody graduates from college, but if you graduate from high school and you have that little certificate, even if it's just whatever or something simple, I mean, it's still something you can
Yeah,
put on
it's
your
still
resume
something
and you still get something out of it. Because like it's like basically getting like a college degree before you even hit college. It's just something you can fall back on.
Yeah.
It's like a great idea because some kids do fail and don't. They have a child in college and they can't finish college, so now they're, oh, I did this in high school and I graduated and I got that degree. Man, I have a child. I need to go back and do something. They don't want to work $9 an hour job. They can go back and weld for 17,
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Oh,
to me, it's just kind of like a free chance, you know, a free chance to have something to fall back on. Because once you go to college, you're paying for it some
Yeah.
way or another, you know.
yeah, that's okay. So on that note, I mean, a lot of people I'm sure are familiar with the whole bill that's going to possibly be passed or not. I think they're voting in January for it, but the bill of free tuition. For those that don't understand, I just want to make it clear. If you haven't read up on it, you probably should read up before you even go to college. But if you have it, the way we technically have free college now, like you go to college for free out of high school. That's with the lottery
Right.
scholarship. That's what that is now. But what they're trying to do, and there's only one other state that actually offers it, it's for the lower income students coming out of high school. Their family doesn't make enough money to put them into college. It allows them to decide whether or not they want to go to college for free.
For a semester?
New York
I think it's like
is
4 years.
it's 4 years. We're trying to do 4 years. New York is the only state that does it, but they only offer a 2 year. And so New Mexico's trying to pass the bill on 4 years.
Which I probably think if it's based on that, I don't think it will because that just means the rich have to pay for tuition and it's just like kind of.
Well, no, I think it's offered to every student.
Oh, okay.
It's every
I thought
student.
it was
It's
based
just,
off like
it's
the-
just it's for every
I thought
student
it was
now.
like FAFSA, like it was based off your parents'
No.
income, and if your parents exceed it or something, it's just
Yeah.
not like
No.
It's like free tuition.
Yeah, it's free tuition, but it's only for kids coming out of high school. So for you 30-year-olds that think you can go back to college, I mean, by all means you can. Just be prepared to pay for it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to knock you for trying. I'm just saying, read a little.
What I'm saying is, it's not a bad time to have a child. Your kid goes to school for 4 years in high school, and he's already going to go 4 years in high school. Then he's going to get a little degree coming out. Plus, you can get the freaking free tuition. Your kid's set.
You're basically saying parents would be set.
Yeah.
If anybody has a kid that's in high school right now, you might be set in the next like 4 to 8 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're set.
You could probably get a master's.
Is that going to
something.
limit them from doing like certain things? Like, what if they want to be a doctor? Can they go 4 years paid, like free, and then from there they could do the rest of
Well,
their...
I'm pretty sure
They
they'd have
have to
to
find a way
go.
to pay for it somehow.
Yeah, like I'm thinking they'll do their 4 years for their bachelor, then they're gonna do grad school, and that's gonna come out of pocket.
Yeah.
Unless they get some programs, because I know a lot of stuff like that. You can get like scholarships or apply for stuff
Yeah.
like that. So there are ways, but again, I'm pretty sure they'll be in some type of debt, and so
At least a little bit. Maybe not completely, but
yeah, not completely. I guess that's the benefit. I mean, I think I could have been a doctor.
I mean, for the kids that are coming out of high school, they should look into it, see like what's the outcome of those 4 year free tuition, because you don't go free tuition and you're out, you're like, oh yeah, you have a $25,000 fucking whatever. It's like, damn, what the hell?
25,000 seems pretty cheap.
Shit,
To go to college and get like a doctorate degree, you're probably looking into $100,000.
it's expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap by
Well, I
any
ain't
means.
trying to go to college.
And you gotta do your internship, which is free. And you're like,
free.
you're
the
working all kinds of shifts that suck.
What the fuck?
It's just,
bro?
bro, that's just the doctor life.
Oh,
So if you want to be a doctor,
I'm good. I want to.
you gotta have a lot of patience, dedication.
Patience, because you're not.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's gonna be good. I think if they do pass the bill,
Who's our like head of our state? What's it called? Like,
Governor?
Governor. Who's our
I
governor?
don't know.
Lujan.
Oh, is it
Shayla
Leon?
Lujan Grisham.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
her name. It's a girl, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think she'll pass? Or she already signed the bill? And
She signed it through
Yeah.
the chamber already.
Yeah, they got a vote.
But I think, like you said, we already got the lottery.
Yeah, it's not anything new. It's
So what's the difference between lottery and the free tuition though? Is the lottery just chosen?
no,
it's
you gotta go attend college right out of high school.
out of high school.
Oh, and
And then
I
as long
think it's
as
like the same requirements. See, like you have to have a 2.5. I mean, it's
yeah, you gotta
same
sustain
requirements.
grades and whatnot.
That makes sense because you can't just go to college and get D's, C's. You know,
No,
it's
no,
like,
no.
oh, it's so free. I'm gonna go back next year. Fuck it.
No, that's
And
what
you can't even
it,
drop a class.
that's
No.
what it
No,
prevents.
the only thing I saw in it that I don't know if I read it or not, but something about the Pell Grants they might not be able to give out Pell Grants as much. Or something
Yeah,
like
that's what they're gonna
So-
cut down on.
that. And that I think is worth because like tuition it's cool, but if you're trying to like New Mexico State or UNM, and you got to pay for board or anything like that. You can put your Pell Grants towards that, but
Do you think? Going to a community college prior to an actual university is more beneficial these days?
yeah, I think so. I mean, I went to NIMI for
I forgot
junior
you went
college.
to NIMI.
And I liked it. The education was really good, but it was a lot of money.
Right,
You know?
right.
So and I did have the legislative scholarship, so it took away the tuition, but still, like going to, and I know it's not like going to UNM or nothing like that, but you got to pay for uniforms, you got to pay for all your stuff, and that didn't get paid by legislative.
Oh damn.
So that was either student loans out of pocket. I got a couple scholarships going there.
okay.
So that got a lot of it got paid for, but looking back, financially probably wasn't the best decision. Probably should have just went to NWR.
I mean,
Same diploma.
I think at the end of the day, it's cheaper. Like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
it's just it's not any
It's the same.
It's the same.
diploma,
It's the
you
same
know.
thing with the exception of you're at a community.
One, I talked to I forget who it was, but he was like a superintendent or something. He had like a doctorate degree,
Okay.
and he's like, unless you're going to like be a doctor, be a lawyer, be something where like going to a prestigious school like matters,
Yeah, that's what I was
just
gonna
go
say.
the cheapest way you can.
Ah,
Because
like
it's all the same. Like if you're a teacher, you're a teacher. You
That's what I'm
it's
saying,
Like,
you
you know,
know?
it pays off going to like Harvard Law School because you're a lawyer and you want that. You know, like going to a prestigious school for some things
Kinda higher
pays
up
off,
there.
You
So
know,
that's what I
but
was thinking too. If it's not an Ivy League kind of thing, it's like you might as well just go the cheapest route. It's like,
Well, he's talking more of the degree that you're pursuing.
yeah,
It's
so like nobody cares if you're a teacher from Harvard. You know.
yeah, they're not gonna be like, well, he's a Harvard teacher. You should be. Nah.
Yeah.
No, I get you. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, why would you burden yourself with so much debt when you have not even established a career?
Yeah.
Like, that's probably the shittiest part about it all is the fact that so many people accumulate debt, unnecessary debt. For me, I don't think it's worth it, but not at the expenses.
Yeah, no, I remember I went to Neiman and then I took a couple classes out here,
Uh,
and just kind of being able to pay for it out of pocket was so much nicer than having to even think about getting a student loan. You know?
exactly.
So even just kind of thinking about that sometimes is stressful. Even though like you get a student loan, you don't have to pay for it for a while. Like you kind of get to forget about it, but it's stressful getting a loan. Sometimes,
Yeah,
you know?
it just lingers.
So being
And
able to pay
so-
for it out of pocket at like a community school or something like that, I think.
No, and
Lot of
I
stress.
think that would be my advice to those that want to go to college. But like you said, if it's a higher up thing, by all means, do what you need to. But for any real degree, it's like start off slow because you might not even like college. Because and then if you go to university, you just accumulated a full year of college debt, and now you're like, well, damn.
I think if you go to like a bigger school, I think you're paying more for like the experience
Mm-hmm.
than anything. You
that's
know?
what I was gonna ask. Did you like college or did you just finish it because you was already there? You was like, fuck.
Well, when I finished here, I was just like, I don't want to do no more. But it was like, I have to go do
Yeah.
what I got to do. I'm already this far deep. What am I going to turn around?
Yeah.
So I just wait. And I guess that's like, you nailed it on the head. The only reason I think if I were to go to the university before, like go straight to university after high school, is for the experience.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when I had gone to NMSU, I was already 21.
Right.
So by this time, I was what I guess you would consider the old fart.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the one. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm the one that people would kind of go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like I missed out on those days of being young, and I was technically supposed to be a senior when I was a junior, I think, and then it just was awkward. You know,
Yeah.
you're the old guy
Okay,
now,
yeah.
and it was like, but I won't lie, I still had a lot of fun, and it's. I think if anything, if you got the chance to do it, go do it.
Yeah.
It's an experience that you won't ever get to live again.
Yeah, I don't think, as long as you get it done, I don't think you'll regret it either way.
Yeah.
You know, going to community college, you're going to.
I mean, even community college, yeah, maybe you don't have the frats and everything else and all this whatever, but also you still meet new people. You do things you're supposed to be doing anyways. I mean, there's so many people that I'm friends with now just from the community college. I mean,
Yeah.
look, Josh, I did not know him, and he ended up helping me get the job I got today.
Yeah.
And we're still friends to this day, and
Yeah.
it's just,
I mean, I think it's an experience. I mean, I went to a military school and you still have, you know, pretty cool experiences.
how was
Just
that?
random stuff. It's one of those places where if you go in thinking you're gonna hate every day, you're gonna hate every day.
Is it segregated between men and women?
You have different floors. So like, guys are on the first, second, and there's some spots where guys are on the third floor.
Okay.
But the third floor is mainly for the females, and you're kind of cut off. Like, you know, you're not supposed to be over there or nothing. Like
So
that.
you don't really engage with females at all there?
No, you do. Like they'll be
Okay.
in your troop. You talk to them, do whatever. It's kind of different just because you have high school kids there and college
I
kids there
forgot
at the
that.
same time, and you interact with them and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's kind of a cool thing being there sometimes because, especially if you're trying to be like like it's supposed to be a school that teaches you leadership,
Right.
you know. So being able to be around like such a big age difference, and you meet like people from all over the place, and
Oh yeah.
you know, having so many different people in one area, and you gotta, you know, if you're one of the kids that's in charge of them, you're in charge of such a big age gap and, you know, ethnicity gap and everything, you know. So
Dang, that's
it's
gotta be
kinda
pretty
crazy,
cool
man.
though.
It's pretty cool. Like I said, if you go in there thinking you're gonna hate every day, you're gonna hate every day. But if you try and make the best of it, you find.
I think that's a
you find
lot
the
of
cool
things. You
man.
just gotta find the best of
There's
everything.
nothing wrong with. I mean, you got Starbucks. You have like a bowling alley there. It's like, okay,
So what are the rules? Because I felt like you guys could leave all the time, right?
You're not supposed to, you know.
You know, you're not supposed to leave it. So when you see the NIMI kids out and about, what's
Oh, okay.
that's
So like,
their free
okay, so
time?
yeah, like on the weekends you're allowed to leave. You
Okay.
got set times where you can leave.
And another
Um,
rumor I heard was you guys weren't allowed to have like a car until like after
Yeah,
freshman
well, I don't
year?
know about now, but
Oh,
like,
okay.
when I was there, when you're a rat, you weren't allowed to have a car. So like for high school kids, you're not allowed to have a car for your first year.
Okay.
For college kids, you're a rat for a semester, so you're not allowed to have a car for the semester.
Oh shit.
So
That's gotta be tough.
it was, but at the same time, I mean, it was easy for me because I was from Roswell.
So you're
So I
yeah,
just
right.
call somebody and be like, hey, come pick me up real quick. You know?
That's too
Dude, there's
funny.
times I'd run out and jump in the back of trucks and take off real quick.
Like people you didn't know?
no,
I thought you just jumped on the back of the truck.
It'd be like,
I was like, damn, that's
no,
ballsy.
man. It would be, you know, somebody I know and call them real quick.
Oh, okay,
Pick me up
that's
real
cool.
fast.
No, I'm like, damn, bro. Kudos, I mean,
No, but yeah,
that's what's up, man. I mean,
Nimi. I don't know about that. I don't know if I could do that.
it gets easy. Like the first, like whenever you first get there, it's tough because nobody's in school yet. So like you get there and you do like your training and stuff, and nobody's in school.
what's the
So-
training consist of? Is it like a
learning
basic
how to
training?
march, learning how to
Oh,
do all
okay.
like the little stuff that you have to know how to do.
Okay.
And so, and then you know they're kind of on your ass a little bit.
Hmm.
But once school starts, everybody has so many other things that they got to worry about. They're not worried about, you know, you doing the little stuff that they're on you for the first couple weeks. you know.
Oh, okay.
So once school starts, everything kind of relaxes a little bit.
huh?
What's up with the
Just-
haircut thing? They have to shave you like that.
It's a military thing, I think. you know?
No, I mean, for the first, it's just like your rat semester thing. When you first get there, they give you a 0 if you're a boy. If you're a girl, you have to wear a French braid or you have to cut your hair to a certain length. So, and they're not allowed to wear makeup. Girls aren't allowed to wear makeup to a certain time. And
They're
then
pissed.
no, dude, the first day that you're allowed to wear makeup, we call it clown day.
Oh,
Because they all wear good makeups already.
that's funny.
But yeah, they do that, and then after I think it's like I forget how many days you're allowed to have like a 0 and a 1. Like you're allowed to go to a fade.
Oh, okay.
And then as you get more rank or whatever, like eventually you're allowed to have up to like an inch of hair or 2
Oh,
inches
okay.
of hair. You know? So and it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, I guess. I don't think I would have ever.
So we wouldn't be allowed, bro.
I mean, I'm sure we'll be allowed now, just not as students. We'll go talk to some people.
No. I mean, like as students, your hairdo wouldn't.
Oh yeah, they're definitely not letting me down. They're gonna be like, nah.
Yeah, like they pull a beard on you.
They're gonna be like,
You're gonna make you cut.
I ain't gonna cut my hair. Not for them. I'm not even going.
It's kind
out
of
there.
funny. You meet some dudes there, it's like, they call them barracks barbers, because you're not supposed to have people cut your hair. You're supposed to go, there's like a barber shop there, you're supposed to go
Oh,
to a
okay.
barber shop. But like kids will cut each other's hair and we'll call it barracks barbers.
Oh,
And
okay.
you try and sneak that in sometimes. It's pretty fun.
Huh.
Like, it's like, again, it's like a little community, dude.
That's pretty
You got
cool,
kids that do
man.
everything in there, it's pretty cool.
I don't know if I could have ever brought myself to do that. What made you decide to do that?
You know, at the time, my dad went there.
Okay.
You know, so that was one thing my dad had done there, and then I don't know. I didn't necessarily want to go to Indian anymore.
Okay. Huh.
They sent me a little thing for a scholarship, and I was like, I'll see what it's about.
You're like, all right, cool, free
Yeah,
school.
dude.
Yeah, that's funny. No, I can't lie. before I even thought about college, I thought I'm going to the Navy. Like out of high school, I thought originally I was going to the Navy.
You going Navy?
Yeah, like,
not Navy, bro.
You remember Chris Lucero?
Yeah.
Him and I went and did like our ASFAB shit, and like I was in. Like I was gonna get in, bro.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, my mom just was like, "Why don't you just try college?" And I was like, I just don't want to go to college. I'm done with school. And she's like, just go to school out here. Like, give it a try before you just leave. And I was like, screw it, whatever, I'll try. And I ended up doing that. I
What happened to your homie?
don't know what he's doing. I think he's got kids and shit now.
No, the military way, I mean, I never really thought about it, but I know like a lot of the dudes I went to Navy with, like Raul Castro and
Oh yeah, he went to the National Guard.
Yeah,
huh?
and
what
what did too.
Oh, he did.
I don't know
too?
if he went National Guard, but he went to Navy and then he decided to go to the military.
I remember actually. Now that you mention it, yeah, because I think there was 1 year where I had played high kit with Andrew, and then I think that was like leading up to him leaving.
Yeah.
I haven't. That's a name I haven't heard, or I haven't seen that guy in a long ass time.
Yeah, I used to hang out with him quite a bit when we were at Navy, but I haven't.
He's a big dude. He's a big ass white guy.
Like Game and Fish now or something like that.
Is he?
Yeah, like Hobbs or something.
Hey, that's dope, man. That's a good ass like career there. I have, you know Christian Marujo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Game and Fish. I think we're in Los Lunas or somewhere up north. But yeah, he just recently got married and stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Congrats, Christian. It was literally like a week ago.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah, like it was not that long ago. So yeah. But
he went to Navy too.
Christian did?
I went to Navy with Christian.
well, his brother went to the Marines. I'm pretty sure that's the branch he decided to go to, and he went. I think he did 4 years.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I've heard crazy shit about the Marines. They're hardcore. Like that's not to be messed with.
Oh, you gonna go Navy?
To the Navy. Christian, or not Christian, your buddy Adrian went to the Navy.
Okay.
This fool.
I just said, do you think you could have made it in the Navy?
I'm gonna be honest. I've heard like rumors about the Navy when it like you're in a boat with a bunch of dudes. Like you're in a submarine and like you just travel with dudes and stuff. And
So there's no women in the Navy?
I'm not saying there's no women. I'm just saying I think at the beginning like
They segregate you all.
yeah, like they separate us all, and it's pretty hardcore when they say separate. It's like at least you had the clowns during some semester. I don't know what the deal. I just thought it was a good idea at the time. I was 18 years old. What did I know? So
I never thought about that.
it seemed like a solid thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they pay for schooling, and you're a freaking soldier, and all this stuff. It sounded cool.
Yeah, I get to travel.
Yeah, I get to, that was it. That was the big one. Was you're gonna see all kinds of places to watch. I'd been like stationed in the base.
Singapore or something whack.
No, I mean, I wouldn't have mind going across seas. It was just.
Oregon or something.
I think if I recall, I think I was gonna be like in the San Diego area or something like that.
That wouldn't have been too bad.
No, it wouldn't have been bad. I think that was originally that was where it was gonna be, if I remember
I guess
right.
it wouldn't be like North Dakota or something.
Why the hell would I go to North Dakota? There's no water around there. I gotta be by the water. I'm a Navy SEAL.
That's a thing.
That's what I was gonna be, is Navy SEAL.
That's like a thing. You
I
just
don't
have-
know.
You just have to be by the water.
Well, I don't know. I would think that's kind of like
So then,
mandatory.
so that you can't do like a lake thing. They can't like train you in the lakes.
I don't fucking know, fool. I didn't go. But I mean, I would assume I'd have to be by water, because that's kind of the norm. I would even have to find out if I was like seasick or
Yeah.
something like that. I got
Are you
seasick.
seasick? You ever been
No,
out
I don't think. No, yeah. I went to Houston, Galveston area a while back when I rode a boat and whatnot. I didn't get sick.
I've never been on boats.
I never been on like a cruise. You ever been on a cruise?
Yeah.
I never really went like super like deep sea fishing or anything, so I don't know. Like that's a little different.
Yeah.
That sounds like a dope ass time, deep
Yeah.
sea fishing. That sounds like a lovely time. No, I mean that's cool, dude. And it means they presented the opportunity, you jumped on it, and
man. It was cool. I mean,
shit.
I don't regret it. It was nice.
That's what's up, man. Well, shit. I appreciate you, dude.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I
Cool,
mean, I love that you're doing your thing and
Yeah.
you're still a teacher. Are you still coaching out there?
Yeah. I'm not,
Oh,
I was
yeah,
always
yeah.
on,
You just said that earlier. You're
I'm a
fucking
head
head
coach.
coach. That's dope.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Excited, man. First season. I've been an assistant forever, but being a head coach is gonna be cool.
That is going to be cool, man.
Yeah,
We're definitely going to
excited.
have to go out there and...
Remember in the triangle offense?
I'm sure you've learned a lot. I mean,
yeah.
So you got... I'm sure you got some shit working for you.
No.
That's,
I'll be ready, man.
that's gonna be cool. We're gonna definitely have to catch a game of yours, man. You're gonna let us know.
Sounds good.
But we'll leave it at that. I mean, thank you again. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys have a good week, and until next time, Beard Bros out. Peace.